2nd of November 2023, there's hard frost out, hard frost on the cars and on the grass and everything. And this is a report in GB News. And it says, UK police arrest a man for criticising Palestinian flags on social media. So what it says here is that the police arrived at the home of a man who posted complaints that there were Palestinian flags all over his estate. A Metro Police UK officer was captured in a viral video on Tuesday arresting a man for social media post criticising Palestinian flags flying in his neighbourhood. The police department has confirmed. The unnamed man was originally posted a 1-minute long video clip of him denouncing a number of Palestinian flags flying along a UK street, according to the Express. In a post on X, the Metropolitan London Police wrote Wednesday morning, this video shows the arrest of a man on suspicion of racially aggravating Section 5 of the Public Order offence. The arrested man was taken to East London Police Station, where he remains at the time. We take all allegations of hate crime seriously. When offences have taken place, our officers are attending, supporting victims and making the arrest. So the victims here are Hamas supporters. The victims here are Hamas supporters. This Hamas group has killed over 1,100 people, brutally mutilated some young girls and everything, right? And here's the police. Why doesn't the police go over and console Hamas over there? You see? So this is what happens when you get mass migration of any crowd in. The natives are pushed aside and the migrants get everything, right? And it's only a matter of time till they come after me. And I'm all geared up. I'll be studying the law upside down. I'll represent myself. I'll go all the way up to the highest courts, Court of Human Rights and everything, and I'll have a bit of fun doing it. But the most important thing is not to, along the way, make a mistake and identify an area of law and keep on that and fight them on that. Don't leave them several things. That's where Trump makes the mistake. He didn't keep on his agenda. He kept going off about other things that only got him in bother with them and gave them ammunition and snowballs to fire at him. I don't do that. You need more intelligence than that. So according to the UK Crown Prosecution Service, under the Crime and Assault Act 1998, an offence of Section 5, the act of harassment, alarm and distress, which is racially aggravated for the purposes of this section, a constable may arrest without warrant anyone whom he reasonably suspects of committing an offence. So what if a member of Hamas insults a British man? They won't act on that. They won't act on that. So it gives the maximum penalty and all that there, 6 months and all that. So you can see the thing. Now here is a bit of the actual what happened. So let's just get this out here. Sorry for delaying you. They're Scottish people, I think.
Disgusting. He's a disgusting, absolute patient and I get here. Make a scene, it should make the scene, get arrested and have because he said something in the street. A terrorist organisation. Did you hear that? What? Almost Palestinian flags in Bethnal Green Road. Absolutely disgusting. Why didn't you get around, John? Why didn't you get around, John?
So they go on then to take him away in handcuffs, and the wife has cancer and all that. But I think the main core of it is that this is happening. Here we have a war breaking out in Palestine, and here we have a man in England arrested. Now they have Scottish accents, and I stand to be corrected. I am not able to get the facts that easy, but it's either Scotland or London. But it says London, so he must be a Scotsman living in London. In any event, this is happening, and now the hate speech law is being drafted here. And I have neighbours only up the road, and they are in Nobber. And while Helen McEntee comes from a decent family and all of that, she's simply not suitable for that job. She's too young, she hasn't the experience. But the people of Nobber are going to vote for her again because of her tragedy of her father's passing, and because they know her. And this is the problem. Once the World Economic Forum and all these lefties get a grip on government, they can carry it right through, and they can get the people of the area to continue to vote. The reality is Helen McEntee should be voted out for the hate speech law. The people of Nobber are not into that sort of stuff, and here's their minister doing it. So of course, she's a member of her government, and then the Greens may pull out. So there's all these issues. But in any event, this is the situation. Now, this is going to come to my door. What I am doing, I'm studying the hate speech law. It's only a bill at this stage. Gemma Doherty was convicted for a violent disorder offence on Kilmacannop Bridge, and I had a legal precedent to get her out of it. It said that she provoked the Gardaí into a breach of the peace. There were no one else there, and all she had to plead was that a police officer is incapable of being provoked because he's trained or she's trained. But she won't speak to me, and that's why I have no time for her at all. There was an open goal, and I made several videos on this thing about open goals, on people in life who have a great chance to grab something. That's one thing about me. If I get an opportunity, I grab it. But there's so many people simply will not grant it, will not grab it. What is wrong with them, I don't know. It's the same with the North East Pylons. They have an open way, Pylon opposition, they have an open way to challenge in the courts, and they refuse. Ordinary people say no. And here is the situation here. But in any event, I'm just bringing this to your attention. That's the situation. You have a war in the Middle East, and they're arresting people in Britain. That'll happen now in the United States under the Biden administration. They're going to start lifting people there as well. And you see, the trouble with them, if they go to arrest the Palestinian supporters, there's so many of them that the jails won't hold them. But that's the way it's gone. Only, apart from violence, which I don't advocate, the only answer then is to throw these people out in the election. The like of that old Breach Smith one is gone. The like of Roderick O'Gorman, they're all for this, and they're doing it. They're bringing more. And don't forget about the Palestinian situation. There was a vote in the United Nations, and America wanted to force Egypt to open the southern border and take the entire population of Gaza out. When the population was out, the Israelis were going to go in and kill anyone that was there that was left, on the grounds that they were Hamas. They were going to do their thing. They weren't going to have civilians in the way. But the Egyptians refused. Egyptians refused to let them in. Now, in Ireland, the Irish government, with Roderick O'Gorman, Eamon Ryan, Catherine Martin, Helen McEntee, Leo Varadkar, and Micheál Martin, and Mary Lou MacDonald, their plan was that when the Gaza people would get into Egypt, they'd bring all of that population into Ireland. That was their idea. Now, they mightn't have got everyone in, but that they got all the people with sicknesses and illnesses and that, who would be promised €222 per week dole, and accommodation and free everything, and avail of all services, schools and everything else. Now, that's what our government wanted, and now, because of the United Nations didn't vote for it, Egypt said no. The Russians, the Chinese, all the other governments all said no. The people must stay in Gaza. They must not. Egypt must not be forced to take them. And Biden hummed and hawed, but he was outvoted. The result was the vote went against the United States and Israel, and the American government has issued a statement congratulating and thanking the people of Egypt and the government of Egypt for allowing medical support in. It's a horrific situation, but you see the way the whole war was going to be used to fill Ireland with migrants again. See that? And that's what was going to be used. This is a problem for them now, but Meanwhile, it's a horrific situation. And then meanwhile, there'll be wars breaking out in other parts of the world, and all are coming to Ireland. Possibly up to 40 million migrants will come to Ireland. If this government gets re-elected, I could see 40 million migrants coming to Ireland. That'll mean one nearly in every field. I don't know how many fields are in Ireland. That's the plan of the Irish government. The British government is a wee bit more careful on this, but nevertheless it's doing this. And the police got the order from is it the Home Secretary, Breverman I think is her name. The Home Secretary told them to go out and enforce these laws, and she's a Conservative, so that'll show you the situation. Now, the other last point on this before I go is our government in Ireland and the British government are short of police officers. They can't get police officers, and they're extending the age for joining the Garda Síochána to 50. And this is a problem now for any decent young Irish person joining the Guards. You're going to be forced to arrest the likes of me. You're going to be sent out and arrest some man that maybe he might be in the football club or what for saying something. You're going to be forced to use this whole woke agenda. You're going to be forced the woke agenda. You're going to be told you have to call that boy a her. You're going to be told that girl has to be called him. This is going to be shoved down your throat. They'll lure you in with offers, and then when they get you in, they'll treat you like dirt. And that is what's going to happen. And therefore, we shouldn't have a police force at all, because we're not going to be able to have a police force when you have that going on. The other thing is about the army, joining the army, or having nothing to do with the military. I was in the FCA myself as a young man, and I had good fun there. But at this stage, you don't know what's happening. It only takes a phone call from Biden to take you and put you into a war, either fighting for Israel or fighting for Zelensky or whatever. So I think there needs to be a boycotting of public services. I think also the nursing profession, it's not a good profession. Why would people want to be nurses? I think that the COVID pandemic and all of that has made that very unattractive. So at the risk of being banned from YouTube, my point is the Irish people will vote in Helen McEntee again. They'll vote in some of these lefties. They need to be left without a police force, without security, and without medical. They need to be eating out of bins. That's what they deserve. That's the harsh reality, because you're not going to wake up a lot of these people. I mean, how many are against all this woke stuff? Maybe 50,000 in Ireland. But then if the rest of the people you speak to, they say they don't agree, but will they change their vote? Will they change their vote? And the answer is they'll go sneaking in. Oh, David, I'll be good, sure, you the grandfather. And they'll vote for them. And that's what we are up against. It might be possible to crack that. I'm not too sure. I did negative campaigning, but that's the way it's going. There's going to be the hate speech law we have now will be nothing to what will happen. And mark my words, if they can get this government continuing on until July or there and have an election, there'll be something like another pandemic. I can see a pandemic breaking out in America to keep Sleepy Joe Biden in power. Look what they're doing to Trump. You see the way these people operate. I can't stop it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. What I can do is bring this to your information, and I have to try and gear up for a good old rattle of a court case and try and get myself prosecuted and have it all planned out, and let's see who's the best man. That's the way I look at it. Freedom does not come cheap. Thomas Jefferson said the tree of freedom must be fertilized with the blood and the sweat of tyrants and freedom lovers. That's what he said, of patriots and tyrants. I won't be shedding any blood, hopefully, but I do shed an awful lot of sweat combating the woke agenda, and it is not easy, and it's not easy to get help or support from your neighbours. So with that, folks, that's what happened. Thumbs up or a thumbs down, and we'll see you back. And we're quick on the job here now this morning, and I'm away off out to my farm to get my work done and get on with my day. Thumbs up, a thumbs down, subscribe if you can, and feel free to comment underneath. Thank you.